A new path.
Oops, sorry, from things I've read.
Grand entrance. A new path.
If you've been to more than one Toastmasters meeting, you've probably heard someone say competent communicator, competent leader. You might have even heard alphabet soup like ACG, ALB, ALS. And the question is, what are those? The answer is that those are parts of the Toastmasters education program. As a member of a Toastmasters club, this education program is available to you so that you have a structure and a framework in which to develop your public speaking skills. 2018 has been a big year for Toastmasters because we just adopted a new public speaking education program called Pathways. But before that, what we had were the Competent Communicator and the Competent Leader program. Competent Communicator was an education manual that had 10 speeches in it. You started with your icebreaker speech, and you ended speech number 10 with a motivational one to inspire your audience, and you picked up more skills along the way as you went. But if you wanted to learn anything about leadership, that was in an entirely different book called the Competent Leader Manual, which some people call the CL. But you need to forget everything that I just said about those because that's not the program anymore. The new program that was rolled out this year is called Pathways, and it's different from that old program in 3 really important ways. First of which is that instead of treating speaking skills as one thing, leadership skills as another, those are integrated in Pathways. And that's a great thing because nobody ever just gives directions all day in order to lead, and nobody talks all day without getting things done. In order to be effective, you need to be able to lead and communicate. And Pathways is going to train you in both of those disciplines at the same time. The second major benefit that Pathways brings is an incredible amount of variety. In the old Competent Communicator program, you had 10 speeches, and everybody did the same 10 speeches. So as you were growing and developing, you were also joining this shared pool of experience and expertise around these projects and the skills that they involved. In contrast, Pathways has 10 different options, like an educational major, depending on what your goals are and what skills you want to develop. In the interest of brevity, I'm not going to name them all, but the effective coaching path is very popular with people who need to train others at work. The motivational strategies one is very popular with people who are in education, group projects, teamwork. And strategic relations is a great path to pursue if you want to focus on working in public relations, with media, or in other official capacities. And there are 7 other paths with different options that I haven't even talked about yet. You can find exactly what it is you're looking for within the Pathways system. So within those 10 paths, instead of doing 10 speeches, you now have 15 speeches. You've added 50% more education to your toast. And those 15 speeches, which are in 14 projects, now cover 5 different levels. So you have multiple milestones along your learning path where you can check your progress and celebrate the ways in which you've improved yourself as a speaker, as a communicator, and a leader. So there is still a shared experience within these levels. When you're doing level 1, which is called Mastering Fundamentals, you have 4 speeches. That first speech is your icebreaker, in which you introduce yourself to the club and get over your initial stage fright. The second project that you do, the one that I'm doing here tonight, is called Evaluation and Feedback. You give a speech once, you receive your evaluation from another member of the club, And then you give that speech a second time. You've had a chance to hear that feedback, the constructive criticism, the positive ideas that other people in your club have to offer. And you bring this into your speech now, and you learn and grow. The final project that you have in level 1 is called researching and presenting, which teaches you additional skills for finding information, understanding and analyzing it, and then being able to share it with others. And after that, that's level 1. You now understand the fundamental skills that empower you to be up here in front of an audience as a speaker. The second level is referred to as understanding your style. The projects in level 2 are slightly different depending on what your path is, because at this point, now that you have fundamentals, you want to point yourself in the direction of your goals. But the 2 most common projects that almost everyone will do are called understanding your leadership style and understanding your communication style. And these are based around completing guided self-surveys so you can gain insight into what your goals and needs are, what obstacles might be in your way, and productive strategies that you can use to grow beyond those. And that's level 1 and level 2. So at this point now you've given 7 speeches. You're most of the way towards that old competent communicator goal, but you're only halfway to your pathways goal. And that's where levels 3, 4, and 5 come in. And these levels are totally customizable depending on what your path is. In level 3, those projects are called the Increasing Knowledge Group. You're going to get a better idea of advanced level skills and strategies that pertain to your path and your specific goals. When you move up to level 4, that's the first time you have a project that is really going to exercise those goals. You might lead a question and answer session for 15 or 20 minutes. You may hold a public relations conference. You might host a web meeting. And all of these are the first chance that you have to get up to your elbows in your communication and leadership skills. Finally, you come across level 5, which is really the pinnacle of your path. You have now made it to the highest level of education there is. The projects in level 5 are all different, but what they require is the biggest investment of your skill, of your time, of your planning. But at the end, once you've finished level 5, you get a certificate and you are proficient in that path. And that shows you just how far you've come as a speaker.